Okay, time to start a new chapter. I'm sick of thinking of questions that I don't know how to answer. Thoughts in my head that won't sink until around about 2 weeks after. Though I try to spit positive, peeps don't wanna portray me as a wannabe gangster. It's stupid. Lately the smallest things will get me annoyed. I can't control my own mind, feels like I'm in a sequel of Enter the Void.
So for those that don't know, just break down the musical background of Blizzard.
So I've been making music for about 8 years. I've started with urban music, so technically writing hip hop and writing a lot of grime music. And then 4 or 5 years after I just started wanting to kind of test the waters, literally try and enhance and broaden my horizons with the way my musical direction is going. So I started to incorporate the instrumentation into the live sets and started to self-produce a lot of my stuff, like on Sooner Than Never, the first EP, and that was really entertaining and really cool because I felt like I had more of an input into the way it finished, if that makes any sense, because I know that I wasn't just responsible for the words over the top of the track, it was more the whole body of it. So that was something that really interested me. But yeah, like recently I've just been trying more and more different things, and I've been like doing acoustic stuff as well as doing my rapping and doing my grime music to appeal to that demographic. So I'm still just on a journey really to find where I sit comfortably, you know, in the music scene.
A lot to come, and you know, like the music industry, just like many other industries, like to predict big things for the future.
Yeah.
And 2014, a lot of people are pegging you as maybe an artist that's going to make a big impact. How do you feel about that?
It's I'm not sure. I just hope that like people carry on supporting my music, because it's quite hard for somebody that's like from the out of London area, because when I was first starting, the music industry was relatively London centric, and for me to push my music to a southern based radio station, I'd have some trouble, just because I don't know, maybe I was the anomaly to what the standard of a grime artist was, which is understandable, you know what I mean? But recently with like Logan Sama and other DJs, especially Rinse DJs, playing all music from the UK, it's became less of a struggle for people like us to get our music heard. So it's the music industry is getting to a point where kind of like postcodes and areas don't matter. It's like it's not a coordinate based kind of expectation, it's all to do with your substance and your content.
I do music as a pastime at the moment, I'm trying to find my calling.
Now, Testing the Water is the forthcoming EP, and
Yeah,
you've
man.
got the title track of the EP as well.
Yeah.
And one of the lines, apart from many lines on there, that I found very interesting was the line, I do music as a pastime at the moment, I'm trying to find my calling.
Yeah. That's the way I've always saw it, because like at the moment I'm not living off it, and it's not like a 9-to-5 job for me. It's still relatively like in the air, you know what I mean? Though I'm starting to get to a point in my career where everything is planned, but it's a good kind of plan because it's keeping me forward, you know what I mean? But when I say my calling, I mean just like find my true place to sit in the massive abyss that is the music industry, because I have been experimenting for a really long time, and it means that I've had to fail on trying certain kinds of music, like and with like last year I realized that I wasn't really the most confident of vocalists. Like I didn't really have the strongest singing voice, but had to practice to get that working. I'm still not at the best. I mean, like I guess Eminem could probably sing a better hook than me, but I know I'm trying to just kind of incorporate that into it, because I enjoy doing that. It makes music fun. I don't want my music to be mundane, and I don't want my music to seem one-dimensional. I just want to have fun with it, and me singing is something I've always enjoyed doing, and it probably pissed a lot of my friends off. Excuse my language. Sorry, it probably annoyed a lot of my friends, but it was part of the building process, you know?
Now, Testing the Water, as the title of the EP, suggests that maybe there's going to be a lot of experimentation on there. Is that true to say?
Definitely. That was when I started recording Testing the Water. It was a point where I realized I wanted to do something different, and I wanted to branch out to much wider demographics than just urban music, because making urban music you are quite cut off to an extent. I've realized that for quite a while. So incorporating like the vocals, and I've got different kinds of styles on there. Like I've got a tune in 3/4 which is like kind of swing balladesque, like something you'd hear in the 70s, but with me rapping over it introspectively and retrospectively. And then there's songs that are quite rock influenced, and then the songs that are influenced by the jazz that I listen to, and there's just rough grime, then there's music that's influenced by trap, and it's just all just merged into like a cube, and it's just been presented to you. That's the way it is. It's fun though. I've really enjoyed the process of making it, and really can't wait for people to hear it, because I do think it's the start of something cool.
Exhausted myself to the point that I feel that all I got left is destroyed. Can't live off the money that I make off this, so I gotta get me employed. Though I'm not the kind of guy to do a 9 to 5 and a lab in a white coat. I started out on a road that narrowed to the point that it feels like a tightrope.
Speaking about the Don't Flop battles, man, we can't not talk about that, man. You gained quite a big online following from that. A lot of people know you from the... I mean, there's some major hits on some of them battles, man.
Yeah, man.
I wanted to ask you first and foremost, how did you get into that battle stuff, man?
I got into it through, I was in studio about 3 years ago, and one of my friends was talking to me about a dude I know called Chronicle doing a battle, and he was like the starting like 16 people that did it, and he was doing Don't Flop North that I had no idea about, and he was like, man, this is really good, you know. And I watched a bit of it and I was like, wow, this is cool actually. And then I got in contact with Rowan, also known as and sorted out a battle in the Northwest weekend, which is like 2011 I think, so like 2 years ago. And I was terrible in my first battle, thought I could freestyle, couldn't, flopped, didn't expect anyone to like me, and then went back for a second battle, did better. And then after a bit, I just kind of realized how to do it a bit better. It was just having fun with it and not forcing it, because when I get into my character, I'm loud, like annoyingly loud. And to see someone of my kind of facial feature and like demeanor getting into your face, saying like, yo, mom, it's so horrible. It's just like, it doesn't look like my kind of thing. So I kind of dropped away from putting on a fake game face, and I just had fun with it. And like, watch the Mark Grist battle, you'll see me laughing as much as the crowd are the things that people are saying about
teacher,
it.
right?
Yeah, with Mr. Grist.
Is he a real teacher?
No. I'll explain. We spoke. Basically, put me into a group message with this dude and just said, student-teacher battle would be amazing. It would be a great concept, and it has a lot of viral appeal. Mm-hmm. So I was like, I'm up for it. And I didn't think that he was going to come with all the mum jokes, but I don't think he expect me to come with all the bars.
Did that
What's
hit
that?
a raw note for you? Like, you know, like,
When
I know it's all game face when you're battling, but if
Yeah.
someone mentions your mum and stuff, like...
I loved it. Do you know what it was? I was so happy my mum got mentioned, because the look on her little face, where I could just imagine the first time she watched it in the office, like with headphones on, Mrs. Green, come closer to the screen. And she must have just been like, what is going on? So she loved it. Like, Mark Grist actually wrote my mum a Facebook apology letter. This is what's amazing. Just like, look, it wasn't meant in a bad way, and it was all tongue-in-cheek. You have to remember...
There was some stuff about, like, fellatio and, like, you know...
Oh, yeah.
You know, sloppy and sitting down and all sorts of
Yeah,
stuff.
in it. And I think my mum will never live that down, and people in the office are always going to be talking about it to her, just like...
Did you hear that part?
She watched the battle, the whole thing in its entirety.
Nothing ever went over her head, no?
Oh, no, I don't think anything could have gone over your head. It wasn't subliminal. It was like, bang, your mum, bang, bang. You know what I mean? Straight on. So you couldn't really
He was quite
miss
articulate, man.
Yeah. What, who, me or him?
You're articulate as well, but he was quite articulate as well.
He was dope. Like, but the thing is, what I was going to say was...
Was you disappointed to lose?
What I was going to say was, like, we kind of switched roles a bit, because he kind of came with the immature bars, like the Mrs. Green, and like, this is how terrible you are. And I tried to be a bit smarter to kind of fool him, because he probably expected me from my past material to look immature.
You was very intricate, man.
I was trying to be anyway. Like,
sometimes you run the risk of going over people's heads, though.
Yeah. Like, I tried to be wordy, because I thought, this guy's a spoken word poet and a teacher, he'll get it. If other people can't, that's not really anyone else's problem.
You getting the deserved forwards from the crowd, I feel.
Yeah, I guess, because to be fair, a rapper in a suit is a game changer. You know what I mean? Like, any rapper that can go and call someone's mum a sea lion in a suit.
It's a party trick,
you are
though,
on
innit?
it. Like,
it's a party trick, though.
It can be classed as a gimmick, I guess, but I think it's one of them things that works because now you'll always associate it with him. The only way that he'd break that is if he came to one in a velour tracksuit with like Ray-Bans on. That would be a different grist. That'd be MC grist, not Mark grist. But yeah.
Sick.